who I think also played like furry video games.
We don't want to go down that road, Big T. He also played Power Washing Simulator.
Okay, he played it for like an hour.
No,
okay, he was not in the washing community.
It was at least 20 hours of game time.
No. By the way, I've already beaten Power Wash 2. They need to come out with some new maps because I'm already out.
I love that they're called maps. That's awesome.
It was so much better than the first one. Soap was free this year. Yeah. It was a much better experience.
Welcome back to Nanodosing. It is Tuesday. It's November 18th. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. College football season is here. It's in full swing. You got tailgates, cheering crowds, the excitement of being in the stands before kickoff. That's all happening too. If you've ever found yourself at a tailgate and decided to grab tickets at the last minute, that's where Game Time comes in. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use. The Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, the fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. Big T, we got a big weekend of college football coming up. As always, the Saturday before Thanksgiving is typically one of the weaker slates overall, but we got a few good games.
There are a few. I went with a rivalry game, Tennessee going to Florida this week. Both teams kind of... I mean, Florida's obviously way worse, but the game doesn't have quite the juice that it normally has, but still a big game.
Both teams are reeling. Are you
I
reeling?
wouldn't say we're reeling.
You're reeling a little bit.
No, I mean, we have a chance to go 9-3.
Okay. All right. You're licking your wounds.
I have a long discussion about that, about how the playoff has completely changed people's mind, like the frame of what a good season is, but that's a discussion for a different day. $77 on Game Time. You can get into Tennessee, Florida.
It's a great rivalry.
Yep.
Love that. You can take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code MACRO. Get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account, redeem code MACRO. You get $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. All right, we're back. It's Tuesday. It is November 18th. We got the whole squad here right now. Big T. You before we started taping said that you had a teed off. If I want to throw it to you at any given point,
you want to lead with it?
I want to lead. Let's tee us off.
Okay,
I'm gonna tee you up to get teed off.
So you recall earlier this year, I said I was going to start following a high school football team around these parts, and I did. Downers Grove North had a great season.
The North will rise again. Yep.
Sure. And they just won their quarterfinal playoff game. They're in the semifinals. I went to 4 games this year. All the playoff games are on Saturdays. I don't know whose idea this was, but here's I don't know if I mentioned this on the show. Some of the games even regular season games are on Saturdays because some of these schools don't have lights.
Yeah.
Do you know this?
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah. So some of these schools just don't have lights on the football field, so they have to play on Saturdays. So obviously I missed those. But now they're playing all the playoff games on Saturdays, and I can't miss a college football Saturday.
No.
So we're now into the semifinals. It's on Saturday again, and then if they make the state championship, it's the week of Thanksgiving. So
on Saturday?
On Saturday.
That's tough. So you're out. So you've seen your last Downers Grove North game for the year.
So we might win the state title in my inaugural season, and I can't go to any of the playoff games.
Do they live stream them?
I didn't find one on Saturday, no.
Wow. That's tough.
Beat Lincoln Way West, Lincoln Way East.
That's
West.
Really tough. They're, alienating a core segment of their fan base.
Yeah, I mean... if I was a parent, and I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah, that's...
You're telling me I'm missing Tennessee, New Mexico State for a high school playoff game?
Why don't they have lights?
I don't know.
I feel like every high school had lights.
I can't believe that's legal.
Yeah, how is that a thing? Do they need money? What's going on?
Saturday afternoon sun instead of Friday night lights?
Listen, the nice thing about high school football is it does provide like a gathering place for the community. Right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It like brings a neighborhood together.
We have laws preventing the NFL from getting rid of that.
Right.
We have laws protecting the sanctity of Friday night high school football.
It is true. You're not allowed to play NFL games on Friday nights for the most part.
Until a certain date, yeah.
Until a certain date, so that the kids can have their time in the sun or under the lights. Yeah, I don't like that for you. I'm sorry, Big T.
Yeah, crazy.
But hey, congratulations.
I mean, best of luck to those guys. Owen Lansu and the gang. They're playing great football. I wish I was there to see it.
Congratulations for on making the semifinals.
Yeah,
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So who do you play?
I believe it's Brother Rice High School.
Brother Rice
on the south side of Chicago. Yeah,
that's a big.
Yeah,
one.
Tony Soprano had a heart attack when he saw that in the pantry. He did. Aaron, you should watch The Sopranos. You would have liked that joke.
Yeah, I'm sure it hit though. That shit sounded amazing.
Tony was so racist that every time he would see a black guy, he would get like a panic attack. And at one point, he opened up his pantry, and his daughter had just started dating a guy that was half Jewish, half African American. And he was like feeling really upset about that. He opens up the pantry, and then there's a big box of Uncle Ben's, and he sees it, and he passes out because he's so angry.
That joke is funny.
It would have hit so hard if you had seen The Sopranos.
No, I apologize, but I'm sure you're a funny guy.
If we clip that, just clip it before the explanation of the joke, because when you explain a joke, it actually gets a million times funnier.
What's that brand now?
Uncle Ben's.
But no, didn't they change it?
No, I think it's still Uncle Ben's. It might just be Ben's. I don't know.
Well, they
changed.
They
to
changed
Aunt
to Aunt Jemima.
Is she just Jemima?
No, it's Pearl Milling Company.
Yeah. You didn't know this?
No, I knew that they changed the bottle.
It's now Ben's Original.
Ben's Original.
I gotta say, I don't. There's only a few things in this world that I'm a real like hipster snob about. My syrup's one of them. I gotta have good syrup.
So what? Are you loyal to one brand?
No.
It just can't be like store brand.
Yeah, just not store. I like getting the like Vermont, New Hampshire maple syrup, Canadian maple syrup.
Like real, like fresh off the tree type shit.
Yeah, it is so much better too.
Yeah. All that, fructose corn syrup. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, although there is something called, I think it's called depression syrup, which is a terrible name for it. But
I used to eat that for years.
Yeah, it's just how you used to make syrup back in like the 1920s, or if you didn't have any money, and it's like very, very easy to make, and it's actually not bad. But
the sugar water?
Yeah, sugar water, pretty much.
So you'll have any brand as long as it's just a brand you recognize.
Yeah, I like to get, no, not even one that I recognize. I just like to get some, like obscure small family farm syrups.
Oh, okay. So you actually don't want a big brand.
I don't like the big brands, no.
Okay.
But there are a couple. If it's like authentic Vermont maple syrup, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But I like to get real, like, artisanal.
You want in one of the small containers with the little coffee mug handle hanging off of it?
Yeah, exactly. I want one, like, maybe the bottle has a cap on it that's like a little crooked because somebody screwed it on by hand before they shipped it. They didn't do a great job, but I could tell that somebody actually did it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you like human imperfections.
Yes, the label is like a little misaligned on it. That sort of thing. Because somebody slapped it on there with their hands. I'm a syrup snob. I'll cop to that. We get a lot to get into today on Macrodosing. A lot. A lot's happened since we last visited. There have been so many more emails that came out.
Yeah.
This is like email week. It's just one right after the other. How many do they have? How long are we going to keep dripping these things out for? I don't even know where to start with the most like explosive emails from the Epstein document dump that's been happening.
My 16-year-old daughter texted me this morning, and she said, "Hey, bro." She said, "Hey, bro, are the emails real?" She's 16 years old, though.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, allegedly they're real, right? But like, I'm waiting for like the official confirmation for them to release all the files before I dig too deep into this. Or maybe they have yet. Have they? Is this real deal that actually from him?
Yes, they've been releasing a lot of emails that are from Epstein. Epstein copied on them. Epstein's brother, people in his orbit, Steve Bannon. There's been a lot of stuff that's been coming out. And so far, all that I've seen, I believe are all like legitimate. There are definitely going to be some fake ones that start floating around there. But for the most part, what I've seen, it's been real. And we should also say that like there's nothing in there that is like the smoking gun. Although there's a lot of stuff that's Epstein and his associates talking about people back in like, 2015, 2016, and they could be making stuff up. as they email back and forth. But I don't know why you'd be making stuff up in 2015 or 2016 only for it to come out so much later. Mm-hmm. So it's not like necessarily ironclad proof, but there has been a lot of going back and forth between Epstein and a lot of his associates, and it's been pretty crazy. So there was one that came out that said that Epstein was advising the Russian government on how to best connect with Donald Trump on a personal level, like how to deal with his personality. So Epstein was talking to ambassadors from Russia, and they were talking to President Putin, and Epstein was giving them advice. Epstein was giving Israeli intelligence advice. And it's exactly, this is, you know what? It's the rare scandal, the rare conspiracy that so far has delivered in terms of how deep it goes. More so than any other conspiracy, I think. It's like everything you thought about Epstein appears to have been true.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm excited. I haven't dug into. I'm ready to. You have all the emails?
I don't have all of them. You can find them online. They've got.
Who released these?
So these were released by the House of Representatives.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if they leaked from somewhere else.
Yeah, the Oversight Committee got their hands on them, and they've been releasing them. They've been redacting some. Like there was one that said it was talking about how Trump spent a lot of time alone with one of the victims, and then they redacted the victim's name. And then the Republicans released the same email, but they did not redact the victim's name, who was Virginia Jeffery, and I'm still not sure how to pronounce her name. She recently passed away, but she was one of the Epstein victims who at times has said very incriminating things about a lot of people, and also at times has exonerated Donald Trump from her interactions with him. So I think that's why the Republicans chose to not redact her name, because if it just said victim, then it could be implied that it was somebody that has accused Trump of doing bad things. But there's been a lot of stuff that's gone back and forth. Like there was one between Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein, and she was like, yeah, Donald Trump is the dog that hasn't barked yet, and we got to start figuring out what we're going to do with him. There was one, you know who like was a surprise in terms of how he came off in these emails? That guy Michael Wolff, the author / quote journalist that's been working on a lot of these Epstein stories. He's the one that has released like a bunch of voice conversations with Jeffrey Epstein about Donald Trump, talking about the like depths of their friendship. So Wolff has painted himself recently as being like a friend to the Democratic Party and anti-Trump guy. And what was actually happening is he was just great friends with all of them. And he was like a big part of like running PR for Epstein. And when Trump was running for president, he was telling Epstein, here's how you handle this. You either can take a step forward because CNN is about to ask Donald Trump about his relationship with you. You can step forward and you can exonerate Donald Trump, thereby creating a debt that he will then owe you. Or you can try to get after him or threaten him that you're going to talk about your relationship and use that as leverage over Donald Trump, who might be the next president. So like this guy he just comes off as like a huge, huge scumbag that's probably not to be trusted on most things based how he appears. There's just like a whole bunch of stuff. Now, the craziest one that came out, I think on Friday, was Blowing Bubba.
Are we allowed to like
allegedly?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what the email said.
It's in the email.
The email said that. So if we're going through the emails, Epstein, whose email address was jeevacation@gmail.com. His middle name's probably something that starts with an E, I'm guessing. The man just loved vacations. And so he was going back and forth with his brother, Mark Epstein, and they were talking about Steve Bannon. And he said, Bannon's with me right now. And then Mark Epstein says, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. And this was sent on March 21st, 2018. And then Jeffrey Epstein replied, and I thought I had Surus. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like a Yiddish word meaning like troubles. So he's like, I thought I was in trouble, but now you brought up the picture of Trump blowing Bubba. And Mark Epstein says, you and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard.
All these, the things when they're talking to each other, like they talk in this weird, like you can make out enough to understand what they're saying, but it's also like the words are arranged weirdly, and like it's this weird code.
It is very strange. And one other thing that I noticed about Epstein, this is going to be very incriminating for me.
That's horrible while discussing this topic.
It is.
Holy shit, fam.
I've never seen another human do the double comma instead of doing like 3 dots.
I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah, he's a big double comma guy.
Wait, why is that incriminating?
When I was blogging, that was like the PFT calling card. Instead of a dot or a period, I would go double comma because I'd never seen it used before, and I was like, this is how an idiot would write.
But you were doing a bit.
But is that an
yeah?
Actual...
But I mean, I'm the only other. I should stop talking, right? My lawyer has advised me to stop talking.
Is that a thing you can actually do, or you did it as like, this is clearly improper?
I did it as something that's clearly improper.
Okay.
Because it's not something that anybody does, except for Jeffrey Epstein.
Got it.
That shit is actually kind of funny, though.
maybe he was just maybe he was a fan of mine. Maybe he was reading my blogs, and he adopted the double comma from me.
That was about the time you were cooking.
It is. It's like the time frame matches up. Anyways, yeah, Big T's right. They do talk in like a really weird code. It's hard to parse sometimes. It's very, very strange. Now, who do we think Bubba is? And what do you think Mark Epstein meant by ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba?
Could be Hubba Bubba, bubble gum.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Bubba Sparks.
There is a rumor that Bubba refers to a specific individual.
Bill Clinton, his nickname was Bubba. He was a close friend of Jeffrey Epstein's. Oh, also in the files, there's one email that was sent that really implies that Hillary Clinton was having an affair with Vince Foster.
I know who that is, but why don't you tell
Vince Foster worked in the Clinton White House as a lawyer. He's the guy that shot himself allegedly in the park.
Again, not familiar with that story either.
That was body number 1 on the alleged Clinton body list.
1993.
Ah.
Yeah. He was going through like some indictments and some personal troubles as well when he shot himself, allegedly. But that's like ground zero for why people think that there is a Clinton body list.
Okay, I do know who you're talking about now. I didn't know what his name was.
Yeah, so in one of the emails, it's implied that she was having an affair with him. So I don't know that we can take that as the gospel because it was an email that was written way after the fact. But that is one of the things that's out there. And if there's anything that incriminates Bill Clinton, I say lock his ass up, throw him in prison.
But he's a serial creep.
Yes,
we already know that. Like, and if any of this is incriminating, yeah, put that motherfucker under the jail.
Yep.
And last time I seen him, he was looking kind of sickly too, though. He was looking like he was about to kick a bucket or two.
How old is he?
79, same age as Trump.
So somebody came out and said that the Bubba in question is not Bill Clinton.
There was a man named Bubba I saw.
There could have been a man named Bubba. It could also refer to Bill Clinton, and it could be that Putin has like a bunch of pictures that he's created to like bust balls of foreign leaders blowing each other. I could see that happening. It's probably some more that Trump would do for fun, but I could see Putin doing it too. So who knows? But I mean, would that be the biggest news story of all time?
One of them.
I mean,
sure.
What? Trump sucking Bill Clinton's dick?
And Putin had a picture of Trump sucking Bill Clinton's dick.
I mean, Bill Clinton getting blown by an intern was the biggest story ever, so I have to assume.
Yeah, this trumps it. This like
nope,
no pun intended. Yeah, no, this absolutely. I think that is the biggest news story of all time.
Yeah, it would have to be. A foreign leader has an incriminating revenge porn of two presidents.
Two presidents that hate each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think they hate each other?
I think
Trump's been talking shit about Bill Clinton for a better part of 2 decades.
But they were friends
Yeah.
for years, and they're like, I bet they've played golf together. Who knows how many hundreds of times?
Yeah. I think they were probably great friends.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think they were great friends, and Bill Clinton was probably always like, didn't really trust Trump, but he's like, he's a hell of a time to hang out with. He's rich. He writes me checks. Trump was probably like, Trump can't really stand anybody that's powerful unless it's him. So he probably had like a little thing where he didn't love Bill Clinton, but they were friends. They hung out all the time. And then once Hillary started getting involved in public office, Trump wrote her some checks to support her. And then when she ran against him, I think at that point, Bill had to cut Trump off for life. Even though there's some things they said where he was probably like, yeah, he's a funny man.
Do we have evidence of them talking at whose funeral was it that Barack Obama and him were talking at?
Was that H.W.?
Oh, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
I thought it was before that.
But do you know what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
I think it might have been Bush. Either way.
I don't think it was either way, whatever that funeral was. Is there evidence of, let's call it Jimmy Carter because obviously he was a former president, he would be there. Is there evidence of them talking there? Like,
I don't
you remember
know.
that meme that was going around of like Obama and Trump talking like when Kamala was turned around?
Yeah, I think there were two different ones because there was one where George Bush and Michelle Obama got along really well, right? W?
Yes. I believe that was at an inauguration, maybe? Don't quote me on that. But I wonder if there's evidence, or I guess that's an incriminating word, but pictures of them talking post all of this.
It was at Jimmy Carter's funeral.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Always.
And so now Trump has announced that he is doing an investigation into the Epstein list and saying like, yeah, release everything.
All right. So is this like a little ploy, or am I reading too deep into this? Because that's the excuse that the Democrats used why they couldn't release the files while Biden was in office, right? It was because there was an open investigation, and like they have like legal precedent not to release some of those files. So Trump was saying, all right, let's release it. And then he ordered to look into Bill Clinton and his and investigate his standing and all of this. That would reopen in litigation, which would seal the files from being released again. Am I reading too deep into that? That's what it looks like.
Well, here was my thought, was nothing in this would shock me at this point, like who knows what's in there, but it still does stand to reason to me that if Trump was like incriminated in this, it would have been released when the Democrats were in power. But whether that's true or not, what if this is the thing that he was trying to get it prevented from being released for?
What is
the Clinton thing?
So he was trying to protect.
Well, no, that he's not in there for what people think he is. It's that it was this.
Oh, so it's all that. So the Trump blowing Bubba thing was the one thing he didn't want released?
That thought came to my mind, yeah.
Well, that would also presume that they had gone through the entire database of emails, because there's no way that Trump would have known that an email existed about him blowing Bill Clinton.
Well, unless someone told him.
Yeah. I don't know.
and then they did the most, like when a dude like gets caught cheating on his girlfriend, like what's the first thing he do? He posts a picture of him publicly on the gram or on social media, right? So like when all this shit comes out, the first thing they do is post a picture of him and Melania, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's the wrong move. Yo.
That is true.
Wrong move. Yeah.
There was also a crazy part of the emails, or the document dump that got released, where it shows Epstein potentially texting with a member of Congress during a hearing where they were interviewing Michael Cohen, former recurring guest of Macrodosing.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I forgot he was on this show.
Yeah, Trump's former lawyer.
That's crazy.
That had a falling out with him, So as they were doing a congressional, I guess it was testimony in Congress. Apparently, Epstein was texting back and forth with a member of Congress advising her on what questions to be asking Michael Cohen. And if you watch in real time, you can see like the flow of the text going in, her reading the text, and then her using those questions. So it was with
Stacey Plaskett.
There we go. Stacey Plaskett. It was 2019, and they were trying to get information about how the Trump organization operated. And Epstein was trying to get her to inquire about the executive assistant, Rona Graff, and her name had not been brought up yet. She asked about this individual, and then Michael Cohen agreed and said that she was a major part of everything, thereby opening up a new avenue for the investigation. And so Plaskett is a representative for the U.S. Virgin Islands. She's a non-voting delegate. But yeah, Epstein was saying that's his assistant. Ask about her.
Well, no, he said Cohen brought up Rona, keeper of the secrets. She texts back, Rona, ? And then has my favorite text, quick, I'm up next. Is that an acronym? And then Epstein says, no, that's his assistant.
Yeah.
Did we know that these guys are just on their phones, like in the middle of congressional hearings? Is that allowed?
I think it's allowed, yeah.
That feels like something that should change.
Like once you go in there.
Yeah, you put your phone in a basket or something.
Why?
I don't know that I necessarily... Well, I mean, I guess I do have a good reason for it. They're texting Jeffrey Epstein in the middle of it. But even that aside, like, should that not be on your... Like, you should either be prepared for that or you're not. Like...
I disagree.
What benefit would there be to them being on their phones?
This one. So I mean, so if you have I'm assuming Jeffrey Epstein was working with them in whatever capacity, and they're trying to gather information on the record for it. I don't see a reason. I mean, you have the world at your fingertips. If you have information that maybe you didn't think of, or the witness says something that you're like, oh, okay, well, this sparks this idea, boom, 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 leads you to another route. You should be able to have access to information because you're asking them questions.
Well, they have aides and stuff who were like coming and giving them that can look stuff up and things like that.
But
I've seen that happen.
Give me the what is the bad part in that? It's already filmed publicly, so it's not about them releasing the information. So what? Give me the downside.
What do you mean releasing the information?
Yeah. So what is the downside of them having their devices?
Do you think they should be able to be texting people, like asking for questions seconds before they're... I mean, put aside even if it's Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Really?
But why not, though? That's what I'm saying. Why not?
Because that feels like you should be prepared for that as a congressperson and be like ready to go.
But so my point was like
and then obviously you can have actors, changing things at the last minute like that.
But what I'm saying is like if you could, so I've been to trial before. If you could come prepared as you want, it's kind of like a freestyle. So when something happens, you react to it, and you can I guess predict their moves the best as possible. But if they do something different, if they say something different, that could spark a new idea. But you need to verify that idea. Blah blah blah. They should be able to do.
So
that
I do agree with that. Give them a computer that you can't text on or something.
But what's the down? What is the why not?
That just seems kind of insane, does it not?
But give me a reason, though. You're saying it's insane.
They're texting Jeffrey Epstein in the middle of congressional hearings.
Those were good questions that needed to get answered. No,
I do think that this is it's a little bit different from taking a test, and it's like once you sit down to take the test, you can't be texting or on your phone, because if you do, let's say that somebody that you're working with does give you good information that should be asked, I don't see a problem with that.
But they can have, I've seen people come in and give them information like during, and then they have that. So they have people that are, and like, I agree with you, have a computer that you just can't text on or something.
But so in this particular instance, Jeffrey Epstein had personal knowledge with Cohen, right? And so in that instance, your witness could be like, okay, if he says this, like, oh no, that's bullshit, he's lying. Ask him this, and you'll trip him up. Like that is valuable. That is should be allowed. Absolutely should be allowed. You can't prepare for everything a witness is going to say, but like if you have like an insider information that can give you real time feedback, why not?
But then should that person not be required to be there and like testify instead of just texting
Because
congresspeople?
it's not a trial per se.
It's an official congressional hearing.
That's what I'm saying, but it's not.
Ideally, you'd want them to be prepared, but
I guess I'm not married to this idea.
Okay.
It just seems kind of insane that Jeffrey Epstein is texting.
That he was directing the flow of questioning during congressional testimony. Yes, I agree. That's very weird, and it should be looked into. She was a representative from the Virgin Islands, where Jeffrey had his island, so who knows how deep her connections with him run. In this case, it seems like Epstein was intimately familiar with the inner workings of the Trump organization, and he had an axe to grind with Trump for whatever reason at that point. So he was trying to use his influence and his understanding of the subject matter to make life harder for Trump during this testimony. Doesn't mean that any of the questions that she asked that were then answered are untrue necessarily, but it is. You also have to consider the source that she was being directed in live testimony by a pedophile, by like the world's most wanted / what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't look at it like that. See,
prolific, yes. I didn't want to say prestigious. Prolific pedophile.
Prestigious is a while.
Yeah.
But I don't look at it like that. I look at it like, okay, if somebody gets caught in a RICO case, right, you'll have multiple parties testifying, working with the state. Yeah, we know you fucked up. We know you've broken the law. We know you've done dirt and grime, but you can give us information that helps us pin this on who it needs to be pinned on. Like, so if they're working with Epstein in whatever capacity, like we know he's done dirt, we know he's nailed to the cross already. If he is working with authorities to help take down or help incriminate other people that have done wrongdoing, I don't see the difference in that.
Yeah, there's a new train of thought that, and we've talked a little bit about, the Epstein allegations about the sex trafficking, pedophilia, all that stuff gets a lot of attention, deservedly so. But there's also like another huge part of the story, which is all the financial crimes that Epstein was doing, helping some of the most powerful, rich people in the entire world launder their money, keep their money secret, conduct backdoor transactions, all this stuff, tax evasion, you name it. There's a big part of that. And I've heard some people saying that maybe Trump might have been assisting with certain investigations that were ongoing against Jeffrey Epstein as it pertains to some of the financial crimes. Like Trump might have been a rat that was on the inside, got caught for something by the FBI, and then he in turn started providing information to the government to implicate Epstein in all this stuff, which could have been the start of their beef that they had. Also because Epstein was stealing his girls.
You think Trump knocked him off, yo?
Like how do you think people would react to that? How do you think both sides would react to that? Not knocked him off. I'm not saying killed him, although some people have questioned that. But a lot of people have been implicated in Epstein's death. For a while, it was like, yeah, the Clintons did this. I think it's not outside the world of possibility that a very powerful person had him killed. But no, I'm putting that aside. I'm saying, like, how do you think both sides would react to the fact that if Trump were a rat back in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, and he was giving information to the FBI against either Epstein or some of the other people that Epstein was working with? Let's say hypothetically, and this is all a hypothetical situation, but this is how criminal investigations work. If they found evidence that Trump was laundering money, and let's say it was a relatively small amount compared to the amounts of money that Epstein handled, like let's say it was like $50 million, and Trump was laundering that money with Epstein. The government found that, and they said, hey, Donnie, you're going to go to prison for 30 years. However, if you give us some insight as to how this operation is going on, we're not going to charge you at all, and you can cooperate with us. And so if Trump was working with the FBI back then, how do you think that would paint him right now in terms of how either party looks at him?
I think he would lose standing with both. Well, he already has lost one, but even more so, I think he would lose more standing because this whole thing was to get rid of the FBI.
Maybe because a lot of people at the
Clean
FBI
up the deep
knew.
state. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I find it improbable anyway, though, because usually when people do that, your name's on some kind of paperwork. They leave a paper trail. But I don't know, to this high caliber, it could be they could do it differently. I don't know.
Well, it seems like they were kind of just emailing each other back and forth from an iPad with their names on it, detailing every crime.
Yeah. Well, I guess Arian's saying like from the like at the FBI offices, they would like refer to you as criminal informant number
Right.
3 or whatever.
Yeah. So there's usually paperwork involved when you work with the state.
I think Republicans would find a way to spin that as a win. That it turns out that Trump was working to like tear down this big network. I think Democrats would also try to spin that as a win, being like he got caught as a criminal and he was working with them. Because you remember the Speaker of the House implied that Trump was working with the FBI. Like I'm not creating this narrative out of nowhere. Speaker Johnson implied that when they were asking about the Epstein stuff, and he like on the record implied that Trump may have been working with the FBI. And nobody really goes to the FBI and says, "Hey, you know what I'd like to do? Can I wear a wire for you guys?" I think that'd be cool. Like that's not how the investigations work. It's like they catch you doing something, and then now they got you, and then you're compelled to wear a wire for some reason or provide evidence.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is juicier than Watergate, man.
It's fun because like we get to use our imaginations. Like everything I just said, right now is like, yeah, maybe a little bit of fan fiction, maybe also based in reality. It could just be 100% not true. I don't think it's outside the scope of reality. But you kind of let your mind wander a little bit and you start connecting dots. But there's already plenty of dots out there that you can connect on your own, and you don't really need to make up stuff like I did. I'm just saying, like, what if? How crazy would that be? We're gonna get more stuff coming out. More stuff. Trump had a little meeting, a little powwow with Miss Beetlejuice last week in the Oval Office. What's she been up to?
Who's Miss Beetlejuice?
Representative, Boebert.
Okay.
She was dating Kid Rock for a while. Mrs. Kid Rock.
You're not familiar with her escapades at the theater? Google Lauren Boebert Beetlejuice.
Okay.
I want to see his reaction.
Exciting to get to see someone find this out for the first time.
Beetlejuice. Esquire. Oh, okay. I remember hearing about this. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that's what that was. That was the show, I guess.
Yeah. Beetlejuice.
So she fell short of her value, she said.
Yep.
As we all do, for we all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God.
Amen.
Lauren, let the church say.
And then Marjorie Taylor Greene has also appeared to turn her back on President Trump, and that
she been snapping lately.
That has people on both sides really unsure how to act.
You can look at it one of two ways. Either she's like realizing, okay, he was full of shit the whole time, or maybe she's realizing the ship is sinking and the well is run dry.
Yeah.
And so she's rats jumping off the ship.
Yeah. And some Democrats are like, yes, Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do yes, Queen it. I wouldn't yes, Queen it, but it's like it's good to see, because like her main narrative that I'm happy to hear about it is like I've taken part in the divisive politics. I've been a part of that. I've been a reason for that, which I can appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, because I've said for years now, like it starts with our leadership. Once y'all start talking to each other like adults, the people will. But until y'all calm your emotions about this shit and start rationalizing how you're representing, then this country's gonna be chaos. We're always gonna disagree. But she's saying, "Yeah, hand up." I've been a part of it. And then she started talking about how instead of foreign aid, we can do healthcare. We don't give like our people healthcare. She's starting to spit. Like I like it.
Yeah, and then you've got now some Republicans being like, "This lady's crazy."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just kind of did not see this plot twist coming along.
Did you see what Trump named her?
Is it Crazy Marge?
No.
What?
It's Marjorie Taylor Brown, because when grass dies, it goes from green to brown. So she's rotten.
That's a pretty heavy analogy right there.
That is fucking hilarious.
And he also explained the whole joke
undertoned
in his Truth Social post. Lightweight Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Brown, parentheses, green grass turns brown when it begins to rot, exclamation point. Betrayed the entire Republican Party when she... Blah, blah.
Yeah, them dog whistles is loud to a bit.
She's probably like, he called me lightweight.
She has been working out. She's like a CrossFit girl, isn't she?
Big time CrossFit.
She's always been.
Yeah. So this is crazy. This has just been a crazy week.
It's been a lot, yeah.
I don't know what to expect next, but I think they're gonna try to get.
I think
all the files
Kanye
released.
Apologized to a bunch of Jews, didn't he?
Oh yeah. He sat down with a rabbi.
He kissed the rabbi's hand and shit.
He said, when I come back from these breaks, these bipolar episodes, it's like when you leave your kid in the house and the kid like trashes the house and you come back and now you have to clean up after everything that happened, but it's kind of your fault for leaving the kid in the house by itself.
It's a real thing. Like what he did was like reprehensible in the amount of shit that he was wilding. But like again, I could always appreciate somebody who takes accountability to a certain extent. I saw a clip of it. I don't know to what extent he actually did, but I saw him saying I apologize and what you just said. So I could appreciate it. I could appreciate a step towards like, hey man, I fucked up.
Is he like on tour in Asia or something right now? Because I keep seeing these videos of these concerts that are just insane. And I think they're in Asia.
He's in China. He was in China. Last time I heard from him, it was like a month or two ago. And he was in China and he he has this line where he said, I hate these niggas more than the Nazis. He used to he's talking about paparazzi. I think he like highlighted it or something like that, or he originally took it out and then put it back in or something like that. So he was still kind of tripping, but that was a long time ago. I don't know where he at now.
They go nuts for him over there.
Yeah, I mean, he one of the greatest artists of my generation, for sure.
He's got some bangers.
Also, in the Epstein emails, there was some stuff from Lawrence Summers. He was the Secretary of the Treasury under Bill Clinton. He was good friends with Epstein. He was also the president of Harvard from 2001 to 2006. And he said, I observed that half the IQ in the world was possessed by women, without mentioning they are more than 51% of the population, essentially implying that women are dumber than men. He also referenced Harvard's rescinded 2017 admission of Michelle Jones, who spent more than 2 decades in prison for killing her 4-year-old son. And he compared her case to the school's reaction to hitting on a few women. He said, I'm trying to figure out why American elite think if you murder your baby by beating and abandonment, it must be irrelevant to your admission to Harvard. But if you hit on a few women 10 years ago and you can't work at a network or think tank, do not repeat this insight, in all caps. Basically saying, like, lamenting the fact that he got in trouble for being a creep and now he can't find a job anymore. But yet this woman that killed her baby got into Harvard, which I do understand why you would feel like, hey, maybe that woman should not go to our university. But he's just tying it back to the fact that he was a creep, or an alleged creep. I also like him putting "do not repeat this insight" in all caps as a legal disclaimer. There's a lot of just really stupid people.
Yep.
But yeah, he's doing his apology tour. Give him a couple weeks, and then he'll say something that's just absolutely insane again.
Yeah, it's hard to walk back all the shit you did. But
he made a song called "Hail Hitler." Like that's how do you walk that back?
you cannot.
You can start a beef with yourself.
That would take a lot of energy. It would be batshit crazy. Like all of it's crazy, but wouldn't put it past him. But like I said, yeah, I don't know that he'll ever hold the same place in my heart again. But I can appreciate somebody that apologizes.
Yeah,
say that.
Also, we got a packed sheet that Big T sent over today. You want to talk about the congressperson that was busted looking at porn?
So this is a very rare situation where it seems like every side has kind of told the truth. So these pictures come out of let me find the guy's name.
It's Brad Sherman.
Brad Sherman,
California.
I believe he's from California.
Yep.
So he's on a plane on an iPad on full brightness, and he's looking at
that shit is so bright.
Dude, it's glowing. And he's looking at like softcore Twitter porn. There doesn't seem to be any nudity, but it's all very, it's clear what he's looking at. So someone posted this tweet, says, why did California Congressman Brad Sherman feel it was appropriate to look at porn on his iPad during a flight today? His district deserves better representation than this. And then his response was, it wasn't porn.
Mm-hmm.
It was on my Twitter For You page.
Right.
Which it does appear is true.
Mm-hmm.
Which one means you're seeking it out otherwise, and that's why it's on your For You page. But two, like, that's still, you can't look at that on a plane on full brightness.
Right.
Especially if you're a congressman.
Right.
And so he kind of admitted it. He was like, but it wasn't porn. It was just on Twitter. I was just scrolling Twitter.
Yeah, he said, I must have looked at more than 1,000 posts during his flight. Is it pornography? I don't think Elon Musk thinks so. Is it appropriate? No. He says he does not have a problem with pornography, but in this case, it's all about the algorithms. The pictures came up because of the algorithms. If I see a picture of a woman, I might look at it longer than a sunset. Yeah.
It's incredible.
All quote, yo. If I see a picture of a woman, I might look at it longer than a sunset.
Also, there are 3 photographs of him. It's not one picture. It's in 3 separate frames. He's looking at different ones.
I think he looks at a lot of porn on Twitter. That's what I think. I think if I go to my For You page, it's very unlikely that there'll be like a picture of OnlyFans model or anything like that pops up. Has it happened before? Probably. There's probably been just a picture of a hot chick on my For You page. But this guy, it appears that his For You page is like entirely hot chicks.
And the one picture of him, his mouth is agape in a startling way.
Yeah, like, whoa.
It's just a weird
She's
situation.
Hot. All right, I'm on my For You page right now. Jeff Bezos popped up. Pug is right there. A picture from the Bucks-Bills game. I'm scrolling. Here's Dave. Here's something from The Dozen Trivia. Here is something from Viva La Stool.
We doing a For You page?
Yeah, I'm looking at my For You page.
I've been getting a lot of Illinois politics recently.
I'm not seeing anything.
All right, here's my first couple
horny.
ones. It is it's a tweet by @Lucifer's Tweets, and he says atheists are better Christians than most Christians. And then above that, there's a Christian that has a meme that says morality is subjective. I'm more moral than you. Killing babies is good actually. And it's a guy pressing all 3
on the soda machine. I saw that.
And that's an atheist that popped up. A representative from Texas quote tweeting the GOP. That the GOP tweeted, the economy is thankful for President Trump. Thanksgiving meal costs dropped 2% to 3% this year. Let's see, my dog Darius Slay praying for recovery for Lane Johnson. Yeah, no females.
I've got the Week 14 Big 12 TV schedule if anyone needs that on mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Utah at Kansas, 12 o'clock ESPN on Friday, November 28th.
Oh, and one of the most classic sports arena moments of all time. I don't know if y'all have seen this, but it's when Freeway had that song in Philly, and then and they show him on the Jumbotron, and then there's a woman that stands up and raps every single line of that shit. Have you seen that shit?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Philly classic. That shit is hard. But yeah, that's basically my battle rap shit too. Yep.
Yeah, you'd have to look at a lot of porn on Twitter for that to just be all of your For You page.
I separate. I compartmentalize. No way I'm bringing porn into my algorithm.
I think that's probably just what he uses for porn.
Ooh, Ryan Coogler confirms he's working on a Black Panther 3. I'm in.
Huge.
4-star edge Jordan Carter was on an official to Tennessee. He recently decommitted from A&M.
I'm getting a lot of JMU updates on here as well. Big T, let me ask you this. JMU's got to be in the playoff, right?
I still think if North Texas wins out, they probably get it. But it's close. It's very close.
I guess we'll find out on Tuesday night.
Yeah, tomorrow will be a big marker for you.
But I think JMU has a better strength of schedule and strength of record than UNT.
Who do they finish with? North Texas?
I mean, UNT got their ass kicked by South Florida.
So they finish with Rice and Temple. They'll win both those games. Then they'll play probably Tulane. You need to root hard for Tulane in that game.
I will. Shout out Navy. Great job, Navy. I knew you guys could do it last week. Absolutely knew it.
North Texas did. The one thing in your favor is that they only played one of the other 3 best teams in the American, and they got killed. They didn't play Memphis. They didn't play Tulane.
It's going to take a lot of mental gymnastics for them to put North Texas in over JMU, I think.
But who's JMU's best conference opponent that they beat?
Best conference opponent?
There's not a ton in the Sun Belt. Did they play Southern Miss?
I'd have to look at the schedule again. I should know all these things.
They didn't play Southern Miss, I don't think. I think they would in the championship game, right?
I think they would. They are in the championship game already. They smashed Old Dominion. I know that.
If they beat Southern Miss, that's a quality win.
They crushed Louisiana, crushed Texas State, crushed Marshall.
Louisiana Lafayette. Don't let them change their name.
Okay, I won't. But yeah, we've just beaten the brakes off anybody that we played. I guess the one real thing you can say about JMU is that the team that is playing right now is a completely different team from the team that lost to Louisville. And
they didn't even have Barnett healthy.
Yeah, they played pretty good against Louisville too. Louisville had, I think, 2 giant plays in the game that were the complete difference. We had some terrible punts too that really fucked us up. But we didn't play bad in that game. We got beaten by 14 points. The game didn't feel like it was a 14-point game. And our starting quarterback, I think this is a legit excuse. He tore his ACL in like December of last year. And so then he was still getting back into shape on September 5th when they played Louisville. He's a much different player.
The committee does say they take that into account.
Yeah, so. we had to sub him out like every other play, every third play. When we needed a quarterback that could run, we'd put Sluka in instead of Barnett. And we don't do that anymore. Sluka gets some run and blowouts, but Barnett has just been an awesome player as the season's gone on. So
need a couple more games like Saturday where they just beat the piss out of people.
We do need that. We got to crush Washington State this weekend too. Game day will not be there.
Yeah, I saw some JMU website reported that it was done.
They did.
Like, we're going to Oregon.
JMU Sports News reported it was a done deal, and JMU Sports News is now they're thinking about closing the entire website.
Oh no,
because they got that report wrong.
That's brutal.
They've worked for I think 8 years to try to build up a name and credibility, and then they flushed it all away on Sunday.
Damn.
By getting out ahead of that. Yeah.
You got to at least say things are trending this way.
Yeah, I think they probably had a source inside the athletic department that had been talking to game day, and they were starting to make preparations, but as a contingency plan because they hadn't made the final call yet, just being like, hey, would you guys in fact be ready? if game day came there. And then I think they took that, ran with it, got over their skis a little bit. But yeah, it's going back to Eugene, back to Oregon. But a fun weekend in college football. What'd you think, Big T?
They all are, brother.
They all.
We only have 2 more real ones left. Crazy.
The season flew by.
Yeah, always does.
It absolutely flew by.
I motherfucker sound sad as
I mean, you all spring, all summer, and then it just you blink, and it's week 13.
I feel you, dogs. I feel you.
And this was even a longer season because you had 2 buys, so it was a week longer.
What do we think about Oklahoma?
I don't know how they keep doing it. They they're not that good, but maybe they are. I don't know. They're a weird team. I think they're probably going to get in the playoff.
I think they will too.
I mean, listen, you go on the road back-to-back to Tennessee and Alabama and win those games. Credit to you. That's remarkably impressive.
Yeah.
But they don't score. I don't know that how many teams I would pick them to beat in the playoff, but I mean, credit to them.
And then Georgia took care of business against Texas. Kirby Smart is a psycho.
Peaking at the right time, I think.
Yeah, Kirby Smart, that onside kick, awesome job. I love a good surprise onside kick.
And it's a shame that you can't do that in the NFL anymore.
It is. It's a dirty shame.
Completely changes the game.
We're going to get back to nanodosing in a second. Nanodosing is also brought to you by Quince. Cold mornings, holiday plans. This is when I just want my wardrobe to be simple. I want stuff that looks sharp, feels good, things that I will actually wear. For me, that's Quince. And the bonus, Quince pieces make great gifts too. It's holiday shopping season. I would highly recommend getting ahead of it. If you're listening to me right now, do your future self a favor. Order your gifts right now. You won't have to worry about them. They'll arrive in plenty of time. You'll have one thing that's checked off your list. You won't be going to the last week before Christmas thinking, what am I going to give? You've already got it planned, and this season's lineup is simple, but it's smart and it's easy with Quince. They've got $50 Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They feel like an everyday luxury. They've got wool coats that are equal parts stylish and durable, and their denim nails the fit and everyday comfort all at a fraction of what you'd expect to pay. They partner directly with ethical factories and top artisans. They cut out the middleman. You get premium quality at half the cost of other high-end brands, so you can give luxury quality pieces without the luxury price tag. Give and get timeless holiday staples that last this season with Quince. Go to quince.com/dose. That's quince.com/dose. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns, now available in Canada too. QUINCE.com/dose. Free shipping, 365-day returns, quince.com/dose. Also on the news sheet that Big T sent over, we're finding out a little bit more about Thomas Crooks, the would-be assassin of Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. I forget if I've said this on the show. I don't think I've said it on the air anywhere. But for me, I had a brain fart like 2 months ago, and I was looking up. I was trying to Google to find out who shot the last-minute shot against Duke that did not go in the NCAA championship game.
Gordon Hayward.
It was Gordon Hayward, obviously. And I know that's Gordon Hayward for whatever reason. Couldn't remember his name at that very second. So I tried looking it up online. And you know what I Googled?
Who shot?
Who missed the shot?
Missed shot Butler.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, you're not going to find anything about that game.
That's true.
If you Google that, you're gonna.
That's a hell of a Venn diagram right there.
Yeah, you're going to find a lot of stuff related to Donald Trump if you look that up, and nothing related to Gordon Hayward. Although I guess maybe Trump kind of has some similarity. Anyways, there's been more stuff coming out about the assassin who we didn't really know anything about. They kept saying that his online footprint was a mystery. The FBI hasn't really released anything at all about the guy. And all we know is like what he did in terms of buying the gun, when he got there, his movements after he was there, and then what happened after he pulled the trigger. But we're seeing some more stuff come out. Hey, credit to Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson got a lot of stuff leaked to him.
He's been kind of cooking too lately.
Did some journalism.
He's been kind of cooking. I always thought Tucker Carlson is not dumb.
No.
He's a smart dude.
Not at all. Well,
Don't quote me out. Yeah, don't. You can't take that quote out of context. I think he has an insane belief system, but I don't think he's a dumb person. I think he's a smart person with nefarious a nefarious agenda.
I think
Like
that
he believes in the replacement theory. He believes in a lot of kooky shit, but I don't think he's dumb.
I kind of don't think he's dumb, but also he's also kind of evolved into being a guy that like talks about how people get fooled by the government all the time. Look, it cost us so many lives in these wars overseas. Tucker Carlson was the biggest cheerleader of the Iraq War that we had. He was like number one guy. He was like on Fox News every single night. He was on CNN, I think maybe even CNN at the time, just talking about how this is a war that we should go in. Like, he was the guy. If you're looking for somebody in the media that was pressing us to go to war, it was Tucker Carlson. It was the editorial board of the New York Times. It was all of these people. And so now Tucker's like trying to play the complete opposite side of that coin. But Tucker, you were that guy. You know you were that guy. I remember you being that guy. But he has done some pretty good journalism recently. So he got a lot of information about the online footprint that allegedly belonged to this guy, Thomas Crooks, that tried to shoot Trump. And most of it, I think, was from YouTube comment sections where all great writing is done. And it painted a very strange picture of the guy. Like, for a few years, he seemed to be militant right-wing to the point of like start a civil war, arm yourself to kill the left kind of guy. And then after COVID hit, he kind of flipped against Trump at that time. And then we kind of lose the footprint after that.
Wait, where did you see that?
At Tucker Carlson.
The only things I've seen from it was he was remarkably obsessed with furries.
Oh.
And that he used they them pronouns.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
I've not seen any of what you're describing.
I haven't seen, yeah. If you watch Tucker Carlson, he has like a list of his YouTube comments, and he was like hardcore right wing. And then in about 2020, he started talking more along the lines of like destroy the government. Donald Trump he just went like anti-government and anti-Trump. And then his footprint kind of went away after that in terms of the political comments that he was leaving.
Is he in custody?
He's dead.
Died.
Wait, which is the one that's in custody? Oh, I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of the Charlie Kirk guy.
Yeah. He's in custody.
Who I think also played like furry video games.
He also, we don't want to go down that road, Big T. He also played Power Washing Simulator.
Okay, he played it for like an hour.
No,
okay, he was not in the washing community.
It was at least 20 hours of game time.
No. By the way, I've already beaten Power Wash 2. They need to come out with some new maps because I'm already out.
I love that they're called maps. That's awesome.
It was so much better than the first one. Soap was free this year. Yeah. It was a much better experience.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
They get you, use your soap, and then you're going to have to pay for it.
In the first one, it was limited, too, and the soap was different materials, had different soaps, so if you only had 4 wood soaps, and you were out, you couldn't wash any, you had to only use water for the rest of the wood. It was a whole thing. But now you had unlimited free soap.
Okay, that's good. That's the devs listened to the community.
No, they do a great job.
Do they have any models that are overpowered?
So once you get up to I believe it's the Ultra X 3000, I think it's called. That's the top of the line big boy. Yeah. And you're just erasing shit. It's awesome. Yeah.
Are they going to nerf it?
No, that's the whole goal, is to get enough cash to be able to buy that.
But yeah, we want to be very careful with what video games
The rest of his video games were all very. Listen, he stumbled into an hour of Power Wash.
It was like 27 hours.
No, I don't think that's true.
I think it is. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the furry community. I'm sure the furries are feeling like they're being persecuted unjustly right now. I never really understood the allure of the furry.
Or is it they just like dressing up as animals?
Yeah, and wearing tails around, and they also like keep the costumes on when they're banging.
Yeah, I don't kick shame, man. Whatever gets you off, man. As long as it's consensual
Yeah,
and nobody gets hurt.
I would agree with that. So, Big T, what is the update that you're seeing about Thomas Crooks?
Oh, just what I told you about. He was on this platform called Deviant Art, which is apparently a furry thing.
Okay, so I am a little bit familiar with Deviant Art, just based on internet trolling. So I remember people used to post a bunch of pictures from Deviant Art on Twitter to kind of like make fun of that community. And there's like, yeah, it's furry stuff. There were also a lot of like weirdly erotic drawings of Sonic the Hedgehog and other video game characters. So I'd see people post them being like, look what these people spend their time creating. And it was like pictures of like a jacked up swole Mario picking them up and like taking them down a tube somewhere, like a fantasy that they had about fucking a video game character. Doesn't seem like something I would be into, but I guess it's, yeah, it depends on the levels that you're into it, I guess.
But then
Wait, where is this reported that he was a furry or is into furry stuff?
that was it's in the New York Post, but they aggregated it from somewhere else. It was in
Give me a primary source where they have verified this, because I'm skeptical.
Why are you skeptical of that?
Because we were told he had no digital footprint, and now he does. And so I'm naturally skeptical.
Well,
I'm not saying he does or doesn't. I'm saying I haven't found a.
well, the thing to be skeptical of was
Source.
that he didn't. I mean, that was always untrue.
Do we have a primary source?
I'm trying to find it. Thanks to an enterprising source who uncovered Crook's hidden digital footprint.
What does that mean, enterprising source?
So I guess maybe the New York Post did report this first. I'll see if it's anywhere else before
right.
we finish. But the other thing was Tim Burchett, who's a congressman from Knoxville, went on Benny Johnson's show and said that he thinks Thomas Crooks was part of a CIA MK Ultra mind experiment.
Okay.
He talked about it for like 5 minutes. You can go watch the clip if you want to hear everything he said. But he sounded pretty adamant. Quote, they programmed this kid. You got a kid who's got access to guns or has some simple knowledge of a firearm. He was programmed. The facts have been buried or burned, or whoever knew is either sitting on a beach somewhere and enjoying a fruity drink, or they're dead.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I can't speak to that, you know.
I don't know if there's evidence out there yet that he was working with anybody in the government. He does seem, from the comments that I've read, he seemed like a very mentally unwell individual, which is also the kind of person that MK Ultra has targeted in the past. But it also could just be like a mentally unwell individual who's not doing well in their personal relationships, gets really into weird shit online, which it sounds like he did. But at least we got some stuff coming out about him, so that's good. That's good. Oh, have you seen the picture of Trump and Bill Clinton?
I saw one short video that was. I'm curious if it's related to what you're talking about.
It's just Trump grabbing Bill Clinton's dick.
Yeah, so that's part of a video, but I think that's AI. He like pats him on the stomach, I think, and then someone made an AI longer version where he grabs his dick.
Okay, yeah, I'm just seeing the picture right here. It looks like he's grabbing his dick.
That's a part of a real video, but I don't think that is the actual part of it.
Okay, so when he like pats his stomach and then his hand goes in front of his dick and then they pause.
Yeah, he gives him like one of these.
Like he's grabbing his dick.
No, it wasn't. Like someone made a longer AI version where he just does grab his dick, but that was the fake part of the video. Got it. I'm pretty sure.
Could just be guys being dudes. We don't know. Also in the sheet today, the Big T sent over, this fucking guy, Bill Ackman. I don't know why this guy became like a household name a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, but now he's everywhere online. He just writes a bunch of like Twitter threads and he thinks too much and posts too much and reads too much online content. But he had some good advice that he put out over the weekend. He said, I hear from many young men that they find it difficult to meet young women in a public setting. In other words, the online culture has destroyed the ability to spontaneously meet strangers. As such, I thought I would share a few words that I used in my youth to meet someone that I found compelling. I would ask, "May I meet you?" before engaging further in a conversation. I almost never got a no. It inevitably enabled the opportunity for a further conversation. I met a lot of really interesting people this way. I think the combination of proper grammar and politeness was the key to its effectiveness. You might give it a try. And yes, I think it should also work for women seeking men, as well as same-sex interactions. Just 2 cents from an older, happily married guy concerned about our next generation's happiness and population replacement rates. I love that. I love how he tossed in population replacement rates at the very end. What do you guys think? May I meet you? Is that a good way to introduce yourself to a member of the opposite sex who you might be romantically interested in?
I saw a lot of tweets from women this weekend saying they got "May I meet you" and did not appreciate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
May I meet you? Okay, let's ask Mad Dog and McKenzie.
That's the first thing they say?
May I meet you? A guy comes up to, let's say, where's a place that you would not typically appreciate being approached? Like at the gym?
Yeah, let's call it.
Okay, you're at the gym. You just got off the elliptical. You're going to fill up your water bottle. A guy comes up to you. May I meet you?
I would just wouldn't even know what to say because it'd be such a bizarre we're meeting right now. Why do you have to ask?
Yeah.
I see what he's getting at, but it's such a weird string of
consenting to
words.
meet someone? Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I think I would have to respond with "Oh, I think we're meeting." I don't really know. I think I would be like, "Huh?" I think I would unfortunately be like, "Huh? What?"
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to say. I would be like, "What do you mean?"
And then he'd have to explain what he meant by "May I meet you?"
Yeah.
Right.
Do I have your permission to meet you?
Bill Ackman said this would work.
Also,
well, see, that's funny.
also
that would get me.
in my head, someone, and this is maybe typecasting, someone who is coming up to me at the gym. One, bad move, but someone who's coming up to me at the gym and then saying, "May I meet you?" I have in my head what I think they might look and sound like. And I think I'd be thrown off by the whole experience, physically and verbally. And I'd be like, "Oh, what'd you just say to me?"
I think what he's going for is trying to be super polite, but it also comes off as even weirder.
Yes.
It's like,
Because he's thinking so hard about the fact that he is being a creep. How do I make it seem like I'm not being a creep?
Less, yeah.
yeah,
that's a good
it's like the performative male, like those TikToks that guys make where it's like the performative male, and it's like, these stupid guys over here are drinking Bud Light and beer. I'm just having my orange natural wine, and I just don't get why no one gets me. And I was just reading Bell Hooks.
Yeah.
It's almost horseshoe theory kind of.
Yeah.
It goes too far the other way to come back.
I agree. It's yeah, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah. Nice guys always finish last.
The guys who are I'm such a nice guy, and it's always the jerks that get the girls.
Yeah, it's no, you're a freak.
Also, I like that
coming up. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
No, please, sir. You and me.
Okay, I was just going to say that
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
So coming up to a female at a gym is a no. But here's my thing, right? If a dude is genuinely interested, this is for the ladies, right? But a dude is genuinely interested in you, and say you pass him in the gym, he's like, "Yo, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever saw. I may never see her again." There's gotta be a way to say, "Hey, if I don't shoot my shot, I may miss my opportunity to ever see you again, and I don't want this moment to pass." How is he supposed to approach you? Or would you not want him to approach you if somebody genuinely thought that about you?
I think it just depends. I would say as long as it's not in the middle of a workout, or even when you're taking a break in between sets or something.
See, let me contrast that with now he has to follow your workout and follow you around to make sure you finish. You know what I mean? That's creepier than.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't think it's never happened to me, but it wouldn't one time a guy a guy that like worked at the gym came up to me to like talk about something.
Hell
like,
yeah.
a membership or something.
Oh.
But I was like walking on the treadmill. No guys ever come up to me at the gym. I will admit that. But he like worked at the gym and I was like running on the treadmill. And so I had to stop and be like, what? So I think it's just like, it's more annoying than it is like creepy, I think personally, depending on the guy, because like you're focused on your workout. But I think there is a time and a place, but yeah, it's a slippery slope to try to figure out.
See, I may be a hypocrite because I don't think that coming up to someone at like a Planet Fitness is necessarily, the best time. I think I'm there to do something. I'm not necessarily there to, it's not like a bar. I'm not there in a social setting. I understand I'm in a public space, but if I'm at a Planet Fitness, I'm not really there to like flirt, is what my general consensus would be. However, I have said to people in real life, which is making me a hypocrite, I don't understand why more straight men don't go to like group workout classes, because there are like the hottest women there of all time. And men just don't seem to be going. And I think that would be a great place to meet. I understand now I am in between a rock and a hard place saying that.
To be clear, PFT's the only one that said gym. Bill Ackman was saying you should say
Just
this
in general.
like
right, we just
whenever.
said that as an example.
Right.
Yeah. But
But-
aside from the Bill Ackman thing.
But that's also my advice. Maybe go to a group workout class. But the may I meet you thing, to wrap that background, I just find to be extremely unsettling.
It is unsettling.
It's more than anything, it's unsettling.
Yes.
Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah. It's kind of freaky. It's freaky. It's like, what?
Yeah, I think here's what it comes down to. There are places that most women would rather not be approached. But if you're charming, you can get away with a lot more. Guys just have to be more charming. There's a lot of guys that aren't charming that try to be charming, and they do it at times when women they would prefer to not be approached, and they fail miserably. And then women get upset, and they're like, why can't I just be in public without having guys be weirdos around me? If you're going to do it, you just have to be charming.
But now is may I meet you? Now you have to, you're taking a risk that the girl you're talking to is chronically online. But is it now like a joke and now it's funny if you do it?
I think so.
It depends how charming you are when you say it.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
true.
but it's also like if that girl hasn't seen the Bill
Yeah,
Ackman.
yeah,
yes.
like I wouldn't have
Like,
known about it.
That,
so it would have been
that
like,
Venn diagram is very small of
Yeah.
like women, like hot women that, are around willing to be talked to, and like women that are following.
I
Bill
mean, it went
Ackman on
crazy
Twitter.
viral.
I didn't see it.
but if I did know about it, yes, it would be a funny way too.
Yeah.
But how are you
approach
going to
it
know
now.
that she knows
Well,
that
that's
before?
what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But
That's the risk you got to take, I guess.
But it's hard for me to think of a way for saying, may I meet you, to come out charming. No matter what kind of charisma you may have. It's just the wording. But who am I?
I think it's the meme of the hot guy walking by and says, "Looking good, Susan," and she's like, "Oh, you're sweet," and then it's the fat guy and she says, "Human resources."
Mhm.
It's just who says it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Damn. Look better, fellas, out there.
Yeah, just be more charming.
Yeah.
Also in the news, we have AI grandma.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I forgot
We should talk about
this.
AI grandma.
This is genuinely like someone should go to jail for this.
I agree.
Like, and by the way, did you know the guy who tweeted that? I assume he's the creator of the app. He was like a D-list Disney Channel guy.
Callum?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He was on he was an extra in some show, and then he was on one later called Austin and Alley, which was after my time. But
Oh, yeah, I know that show.
Banger.
So
yeah,
it-
so one of the guys from that show has created this insane app where
Is he the redhead?
yeah.
Uh,
Where
That guy's so bizarre.
where you take a 3-minute video of someone who I guess you are guessing is going to die soon, and you just film them talking and moving around, and then it creates an AI version of this person for you to talk to after they're dead, which is a literal episode of Black Mirror
Psycho shit.
that this guy, I guess, did not watch because it turns out horrifically. And it's like, why? That's just so terrible. It's disrespectful, I think.
Very.
to like your grandma that, hey, like, I know we've had great times, but I just want to turn you into like a little AI chat bot that I'm going to talk to for the next 20 years.
And in this commercial for the app, the woman introduces her grandmother to her son. And then her son grows up using the chatbot so that the son then knows the great grandma and then is asking great grandma, who he's never met in his life, for advice, filling her in on all the goings on in his life. Hey, I'm about to have a kid now, great grandma. And then getting her reaction to that. Who wants this?
I would be so like unsettled.
Yeah.
Like I could never do that.
No, that's it. This is insane. That's jail, or just hands. Put hands on whoever made this.
It's
Beat
the
shit out
Disney
of him.
Channel guy,
Fuck
Callum
him
Worthy,
up.
I think is his name.
Yep.
Callum Worthy. Hey, on site. Whoop his ass on site.
So it was the first episode of season 2 of Black Mirror. Be right back.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah. Does not end well. I think at some point, every single product that was invented during Black Mirror will be invented for real.
There's a couple. And by the way, the guy in that episode of Black Mirror who's the AI boyfriend looks like this guy who made the app.
It's so weird. This is all so strange. But yes, it should be against the law.
Don't hate it.
But
That
not
actually,
not
that
good.
I would be in favor of a law banning that.
banning
Very specifically this.
AI people.
A recreation of a deceased person in AI. You have to make it very narrow, very specific to this app, so it can't be perverted for any other situations. But I want this banned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been so many different Black Mirror episodes that have come true in real life. The one with the lady that has like a degenerative brain disease, and then they keep her alive. Is that the same one? They keep her alive, but the guy has to pay a monthly fee
No, that's different.
to have her like AI.
But that's kind of this too.
Yeah, it is.
Because so you pay $20 or whatever.
Subscribe.
Yeah,
to see
and
grandma.
then
And,
they,
yeah, and
they
then they're
jack
like,
up the
well,
fees.
price goes up.
And then
Yeah.
she starts reading ads to you. And he's like, why is she reading ads to me all the time? Well, you need to pay for the premium tier. And then he has to pay like $500 a month more. And then it's all geo-fenced, so he can't take her outside of like a certain location without paying to expand it.
Hilarious, man.
Yeah. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it.
Vine is coming back, and they're banning AI, and I absolutely love that shit.
I like it.
Is anybody going to use Vine though?
I'm not, but I like the idea.
I do too, because like I loved the creativity of Vine, that you had 6 seconds to be funny, but like now TikTok is so huge, nobody's gonna use it. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm my bandwidth for apps is I'm done. I'm not getting any more apps. My brain is packed out. It is what it is. But I love the idea of banning AI. Like, more people need to get on that. We need to do that with all social media apps. There's no utility for it. There's none. When's the last time you seen a funny AI meme? You know what I'm saying?
I did. Okay, I'm gonna send y'all this
Oh,
because
shit.
I laughed. This was funny. It's the only one I've ever seen that made me actually laugh. I'm gonna send it to y'all. Hang on. I'm putting my
I'm gonna do
reputation
one
on the line that this AI video is very funny.
Okay.
Hey, stop that! It's midnight. Give me that. No, sir. No more fiddle tonight. Got it? Inside with this thing. Go home. Hey, what did I say about the noise? It's the middle of the night. No more synth on the porch. Yep, you're done. I'm taking it inside. Go back to your bed.
Yeah, there it is. I was nervous.
No more
I'm not
fiddle
mad
tonight,
at
hear
this.
me?
This is comedy.
Inside with this.
It gets better
Yeah.
too. It just keeps going.
Hey, quit it! It's midnight. Give me those sticks. No more concerts tonight. You hear me? Inside with these. Go home.
I love it so much.
It's midnight. Give me that thing. No more playing tonight. You hear me? Inside with this. Go home. Hey, knock it off. It's midnight. Give me that thing. Hiss. No more didgeridoo tonight. You hear me? Inside with it. Go home.
All right, yeah, it's fun.
Thank you.
That was
I put my reputation on the line. That was big.
It's fun. Yeah. But fuck that shit though.
I agree for the most part.
Yeah, that was a funny cat video. I agree. Also on today's sheet, we got Tua wants to play a game overseas in Jerusalem.
So I was certain, because I saw this news on the, when Twitter has little recaps of things and it'll say, and they're often very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I was certain that this was an AI thing that had picked up. Somebody tweeted like Tua's, going to have to play in Israel or something. And the AI picked it up wrong and made a fake story about like Tua wants to play in Jerusalem. And then I watched the video.
So this was at the game in Madrid, which, by the way,
condolences.
Oh, I don't care. No, it was a great loss for us.
Okay.
I think at this point we have one of the worst teams in the NFL. So ultimately, if we lose games like this, it's going to be good.
Sure.
For the future of the franchise. And I don't think Jaden's going to come back. And I think just write the season off, pick up the pieces, move forward. The stadium was awesome in Madrid. Did you see any of the time-lapse videos of how they do like the Real Madrid stadium with
that shit is fire.
Yeah,
dog.
they just finished it a year or two ago.
The grass that grows in like a basement greenhouse there.
Another one has that. I think Tottenham.
It's
does
amazing.
The same thing. Yeah.
It's incredible. That's what every NFL stadium should be like.
Agreed.
And it seemed like a fun game to go to. And then after the game, they asked Tua about the experience playing overseas. And he was like, "Yeah, I'd like to play in Jerusalem one day," which, yeah, sure. I'm sure he will. I'm sure the NFL is not done. What do you think the next country is to get an NFL game?
I mean, they're just going to keep going.
This was the first one in Spain, right?
Was it?
I think so. We've done Ireland. We've done England. We've done
Mexico,
Germany. We've done Mexico. I believe there was one in Japan. It might have just been a preseason game. I'm not. We'll have to check that.
I will be going to that if I don't care who's playing. I love Japan.
Yeah, Japan feels like it might be. We might go back there. Have we done one in Canada?
I'm not sure. I don't recall.
Seems weird that we haven't been to Canada yet.
Yeah.
But outside of Canada, like what European country or Asian country do you think is next up?
I mean, if they did Spain, you could do Portugal.
France?
Yeah.
I could see France. I could see Italy.
Maybe like one of the soccer stadiums in Netherlands, somewhere up there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Amsterdam.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I might go to that one.
I just like, who's asking for this,
The owners want more money. They want to expand overseas.
Expand the brand, baby.
Yep. I mean, Madrid seemed like a cool place. I actually didn't mind waking up early on Sunday morning. I get to get the game out of the way, and then I get to watch real football afterwards. But it did seem like neither team wanted to win. It was like both teams, they would get inside the 20 and be like, yeah, we actually don't want to score here. But ultimately, that was a good loss for the future of the Commanders.
Who we looking at?
In the draft?
Yeah.
I just decided I was going to move into draft scouting season.
What position are you looking at?
Position of need. Buddy, we have a lot of them. I would say linebacker, defensive end.
All right, so D-end, I mean, what pick are you targeting?
Good possibility we pick somewhere between 5 and 8.
So you're probably out of Reuben Bain territory, maybe David Bailey.
Reuben Bain would be awesome. I don't think that he's probably going to go in like the top 3.
I think he should be in Heisman talk.
I agree.
I think he's probably the best player in the country.
I agree, Big T. Good point.
Who's this one? Who's this?
Reuben Bain. He's a defensive end at Miami.
I may or may not have a future on him at like 600 to 1.
Do you really?
Yeah.
David Bailey could be there in that range.
Okay.
I like him a lot. Very good player.
What about linebackers? Who are the best linebackers?
I think he is technically a linebacker.
I mean, like middle linebacker.
There's isn't it the dude from Texas A&M?
Oh, Jacob Rodriguez, is he draft eligible?
I don't know. See, this is why I got to get into it. I asked Blutman if he was ready to start scouting. He's not ready.
Oh,
yet.
yeah, he's 23.
What about, where do we project Caleb Downs going? Is he going to be top 5?
Top 10-ish.
So we also do need a safety. Caleb Downs is the closest thing I've seen to Sean Taylor.
I think you can't go wrong taking Caleb Downs.
The only issue with taking Caleb Downs that high is safety really a game-changing position in the NFL?
Well, you said NFL. I can tell you it is far more noticeably when you don't have any good ones, which is where the University of Tennessee finds itself currently.
Right.
So it's kind of it's the offensive lineman of defense, which is you don't notice it until you don't have them.
Yeah. It seems like a luxury pick to add an elite safety. Whereas if you have an average safety, there's other positions that are more important to build around. But like Sean Taylor did change that defense. There have been some, like Derwin James is one of the best defensive players in the NFL. If you have a truly elite safety, it's also a very fun position to just watch how they operate. I remember when the Commanders had Sean Taylor, and then we also spent another top 10 pick on LaRon Landry. So we had 2 safeties. It didn't really work out that well.
This mock has the Washington Commanders selecting Carnell Tate, number 7 overall.
Okay. I mean, we do kind of need a receiver, but also, yeah, we do need a receiver for the future.
And I forgot Arvell Reese, also another elite linebacker, edge guy.
Okay. I'm just thinking about the big areas of need that we have, and our defense is just utter complete dog shit right now. So we'll see. I'm going to have to become a mock draft guy and see where we're at. Anything else in the news we want to get to? Mad Dog McKenzie, anything burning you guys up from this weekend?
Do you guys remember that thing maybe a couple months ago where everyone became super sympathetic towards the fish with the light at it?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a new one. There's actually 2 new ones.
Okay.
The tripod fish. Have you seen these videos
No.
on TikTok? So there's this song that's going viral on TikTok, and I believe it's a World War I song, and it's like, soldier boy, oh my little soldier boy. And people are making sad videos to it. And it's these fish that live at the bottom of the ocean. And basically, oh, hi. Sorry, Arian's daughter's on screen. They're these fish that live at the bottom of the ocean, and when they're born, their body betrays them, and they start up higher in the ocean, and then their fins grow long tripod stands, basically.
I'm looking at it right now.
And then they sink to the bottom of the ocean, their eyes burn off, and they become blind, and they sink to the bottom of the ocean and stick there with their little 3 legs, kind of. And they can't move because their tripod legs have become so heavy. So they're stationary fish, and the only time they move is to sometimes go feed. And they sit at the bottom of the ocean, just sitting there for like 5 to 10 years is their lifespan. And I keep getting edits about these tripod fish, and it's like devastating. About like I feel like their life is so sad because they just sit there. And it's literally crazy because you don't really see fish not moving too often also. And it's literally them flat at the bottom of the ocean. And they're in the dark, and they can't see because they've gone blind because their eyes have burned off. And they just sit there at the bottom of the ocean. And they're not born with this tripod.
They're freaky looking fish. I've never seen this fish before.
Neither had I. And they're not born with those stands. They grow them. So imagine growing like 3 more legs all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And sinking becoming heavier and heavier with that. So that's kind of taken over. And then the sunfish is the kind of the rival. They're like, oh, everyone's talking about the tripod fish. You need to be talking about the sunfish. And the sunfish is that like sideways fish that doesn't really know how to navigate, and other fish can just eat it, and its brain is too small to know what to do to attack, like to defend itself. So it just gets like chomped until inevitably it dies. But the tripod fish is my new thing that I became sympathetic towards this weekend.
Very sad life.
Want to hear a fun fact that reminded me?
Yeah.
So on my YouTube feed popped up the Jubilee joint about that dude who is obsessed with not dying. I forget his name, but like
Is it Bryan
like,
Johnson?
Bryan, yes.
Could be, yeah. So he spends like $2 million a year just trying to keep himself alive, and it's not working. He looks old, but anyway, but he made a point that I was like, damn, that's actually crazy, and I didn't know until I looked it up. He said biologically, like he's obsessed with, like, he thinks that should be humanity's number one goal is to solve mortality. Like he thinks that we should be able to live forever, and that should be our goal. And he said biologically it's happened already. He said there's a type of jellyfish, and it's called turrit turrit ooh, turritos turritopsis turritopsis dorni. So it's a jellyfish that when injured, stressed, starving, or aging, it can reverse its life cycle back to its early pilop stage, basically turning itself into a baby again. And then from there, it grows back into an adult, and it could just do this forever. And it's a process called transdifferentiation. And so like biologically, yeah, it's immortal. But most of them die from like predators or sometimes disease where they just don't get a chance to go back, but they can regenerate their cells. They can live forever. I didn't notice. This is actually fascinating to me.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit different from what he's trying to do to himself.
Yeah.
Also, humans aren't jellyfish, so like there's probably a reason why jellyfish do that. But yeah.
Yeah. But he was just saying like he's like biologically speaking, it's possible from a biological standpoint. Like cell, we could figure out. He's arguing we could figure out a way for our cells to regenerate themselves. And I don't know enough about biology to say yes or no, but I thought it fascinating that there is a species that does this naturally.
Did you see he did mushrooms for the first time recently?
And
like documented the whole thing, and I believe I saw it made him like hate everything.
That's a weird reaction.
I'm trying to find the exact tweet.
What's his name?
Bryan Johnson, Bryan.
Bryan Johnson.
And a week or two ago, he did mushrooms for the first time, and he had a woman there with him, documenting the whole thing. And I thought I saw a tweet that was like, Bryan said, I'll just have to find it, but.
Bryan Johnson. Yeah. Anti-aging experiment. Did he like swap blood with his son or some shit too?
He tracks their boners.
Fucking weirdo, dog.
I think like, some of the stuff he does has to be just for notoriety, right?
No, I think he's really about this life. He spends like $2 million a year on this shit.
But you don't think that when he like publicly posts about tracking his son's boners, he doesn't know the reaction that's going to get?
I think he thinks, and this is just you could be correct, but from my assertion of him, I think he thinks he's like a revolutionary in changing how human beings are tracking health and discovering new frontiers about how to slow down the aging process.
I think they're just terrified of dying.
Yeah, sure. And he definitely looks in his 40s, and he's 40s.
I think a lot of these guys are just like struggling with the emptiness of understanding that you're not going to live forever.
Yeah.
Like, religion replaces a lot of what these guys are looking for.
That is a strong point that was said to him. Or he says, he says that religion was made to help cope,
right?
Help the human mind cope. That it's going to pass.
But that's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to cope with the fact that he's going to pass by not coping with it, by fighting against it. He's in denial of the fact that he will die.
In denial.
Also, if you just work on your health and your body's health, let's say hypothetically he's correct that he will not develop any degenerative diseases over the course of his life. At some point, he's going to get into an accident. If you live for 700 years, something's going to happen. Physically, something's going to happen to you, and you'll get hit by something else and die anyways.
I don't think you'd be bored after a while. Like, I've seen everything.
Yeah, and all your friends start dying. You don't know anybody.
Yeah, you're just a forever stranger. Can't get close to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a wild existence.
All right. Anything else we want to get into today?
I have some voicemails.
Let's do some voicemails.
Do it. Oh, update on my dog search.
Okay, yeah.
Another dog has entered the pool. I am around 80% now. Finna get this I'm finna kidnap one of these fuckers. Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has entered the conversation. So right now I'm in between two: a Fox Red Lab or a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Okay.
Those are my two. That is settled. It's one of those two.
Rhodesian
Was that
Ridgebacks
the
are
one-
great.
Was that the one that like needed a lot of exercise?
That does need exercise, attention, and like a goal because it's like a hunting dog.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'll probably just let him chase squirrels or some shit. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, they're great dogs. Great dogs. They got that cool little mohawk on their back too.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So,
Yeah, keep me
excited.
posted.
Yeah, I will do that.
What's up, Macrodosing crew? This is Noel from Colorado. Love your PFT. Love everyone on the pod. Now I have a question for you guys. Need some help. So, my job requires me to go in pretty early in the mornings, talking like 3, 4 a.m. Now, I have a upstairs neighbor. Pretty sure gets to business, if you know what I mean, at around 9 p.m. I go to bed around 8 o'clock, 8:30. Now, I've woken up to noises, him doing business. And it's bothering me lately, where to the point where I've even tried to, listen to white noise. I slept on the couch a couple times. So that's an ongoing issue. Now the question for you guys is, now do I address it? Do I bring it up to him? Do I go up face to face? It's been going on for about 2 weeks now. I will say it's not as bad during the weekdays, but I work Tuesday to Saturday, so sometimes he's doing the business between Friday night, sometimes Saturday night. But again, do I address it to him? What do I do? Love to hear back. Again, love the pod. Thanks. Take care. Bye.
This is a great question. Great question. I have a suggestion. If it's actually impacting your sleep, impacting your life, this seems like something that a well-humored note slid under the door could help. You write like, hey, sounds like you've been having a lot of fun. Congratulations. Happy for you guys. One small request. I live downstairs and I can hear you guys. Would you mind trying to keep it a little bit more quiet? Thank you. Enjoy the fruits of your labor.
What happens if that doesn't work?
Then you got to have a face-to-face. But I feel like the upstairs neighbor probably doesn't know that when they're fucking, their downstairs neighbor can hear everything.
I would assume not. First step is just beat on the ceiling, right?
No, Big T.
Yeah, I think that
What?
that gets it
That's
going.
your first instinct? No.
Yeah.
Because that is an aggressive act.
What they're doing is aggressive.
They're just living their lives. They're not doing anything to harm you. That's why everybody.
Well, they might not be intentionally, but it is harming you.
Yeah, but when you bang on a door, that is aggressive. You saying,
I see how it could be perceived that way, but it's a hey.
No, it's not a hey. It's a Karen move.
I think if you do that, it's got to be
terrible.
in the moment the first time it happens. But since it's been
Don't
going
bang on the walls, man.
yeah, I think a note. I think a note fixes this because they
I'm
don't know.
tell you, think about it. If you and maybe just ask you, what is your first reaction if somebody bangs on your wall because they feel?
I would be like,
too
oh
loud?
shit, am I like making a ton of noise?
Oh, well, see, my first reaction is to fuck you. I'm with the confines of my own wall. I'm doing my own thing. If it bothers you, it bothers you. This is and this is why.
But if you're in an apartment, there is a level of there's a different standard that you have to be.
Don't disagree, but the issue is how you bring it about somebody else, right? If you bang on the wall, that is aggressive to me, and it's gonna make me want to do whatever I'm doing more. Like I hate that shit. I don't agree with that shit. That shit because it's also a little cowardly. If you,
I would actually honestly, if I was the one that somebody was upset with, I would rather have that than like somebody come to my door and like either leave a note or like confront me. Like just bang on the wall, and then I'd be like, okay, I'll try to be quieter.
That's insane. That's wild to me.
I think
you don't like confrontation though. I think that's what it is.
I think
part of it.
If there's a banging on the wall, it also like establishes that's my enemy now.
Yeah,
right. Like it creates like a barrier between you. The way that this guy just called and let this voicemail, like that's a good tone that he has. He's sick of being woken up, but he's like, yeah, they're fucking like, okay, good for them.
He is mad at them. He's going about it nicely, but he is mad.
I think he's upset that he's not able to sleep. I don't think he's mad.
I think he's concerned. Yeah, he's concerned about his well-being, but he's not mad at them. He's literally said, he's like, I mean, good for them. You know, that is what it is.
That's why I think that if you write a note that is like kind of funny and also kind of like, hey, good for you guys, I think the person would read that and be like, oh shit, I didn't know that they could hear us. Let's be a little bit quieter. So something similar happened to me, not to brag, but when I lived in New York, lived in an apartment, and I got a knock at my door one day. I opened it up, and there's this lady that was standing there looking like a little bit disheveled, and she was very nervous, didn't really want to look at me, and she was like, hey, I've noticed that I don't know if you like work late and get home at 2 a.m. every night, but you're very loud during the night, and I'd appreciate it if you could quiet it down. And I was so confused. I was so confused about this because I wasn't working late at the time. I was getting home at like midnight at the latest from work, and I was not making any noise in my apartment. She was like, yeah, between the hours of like 2 and 4, it's very loud. And I was like, well, I'm not awake between the hours of 2 and 4. I'm never awake between the hours of 2 and 4. What's going on? And then she left, and then she came back again like a week later, and she was like, you're still being very loud at night. And I couldn't tell what she was getting at. I was just explaining to her, like, I don't know what you mean. Like, I'm not walking around my apartment. I'm not making any noises. What does it sound like? She's like, it's a lot of like banging on the floor. I was like, this lady's crazy. What's going on? But she was, in retrospect, she was trying to tell me that she was waking up to the sex noises. And then the very next night, I'm asleep, and I wake up because Leroy slept on the floor next to the bed, and he would get these dreams in the middle of the night where he would be running, and his feet were just kicking constantly against the bedstand and against the door, against the bed, and it was making a sound like someone was having very aggressive sex in that bed. And then I was like, oh, she keeps getting woken up by Leroy's feet, and she thinks that I'm fucking, but she didn't want to tell me that she was waking up because I was fucking. She was trying to be polite the way that she was saying it to me. And then I just put down like a pillow or a blanket on the side of the bed so that if Leroy dreamed in the middle of the night, he would just kick the blanket and not make any noise. So problem solved. But yeah, she definitely thought it was fucking.
Shout out Leroy.
Yeah. I think that this is a situation where if you slide a note under the door, make it clear like, hey, you're not being a pissed off neighbor. It's just you guys are loud. You probably don't realize that you're having sex loud. I've been having trouble sleeping because of it. Could you be a little bit quieter? I think that should resolve it. If it doesn't, then you might have to do the knock on the door. Will you please keep it down? That's my advice.
Yeah. I do not recommend banging on the wall. That
Just
seems
try.
aggressive to me. But then, yeah, I would prefer somebody tell me is to knock on my door because I'm not, like I said, I always meet people with the energy they give me. So if you're like, hey, just like his demeanor, I'm like, oh yeah, no doubt, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'll slay in the day, for you.
All right, good question
But
though.
yeah, let's
do the next one.
Shout out to that couple though, getting it in.
Yeah.
Pretty consistent if it's
So I'm Macrodosing crew. This is Chris from Pennsylvania. I've had a question for you guys. What current NFL player do you think will be like the next great head coach in 10 to 15 years? I don't think anybody thought about 10 years ago, Mike Vrabel, Dan Campbell, or D'Amico Ryans. Aaron, you probably did. But which current player now do you think will be the guy in about 10 to 15 years? All right, love you guys. Stay handsome, stay gorgeous.
It's a good question. Aaron, did you know that D'Amico was going to be a head coach?
I don't know about a head coach, but I knew he was probably going to be a coach. There's certain guys that are like, you could just tell they have that kind of like, they're a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was never that. Like I was always, I'm gonna be joking and shit like that. But there's certain guys, we call him Cap for captain. He was always like, that was his demeanor. And so like I probably thought he was gonna coach. I didn't know how successful. There's nobody that gauge that, but like you could tell he was probably gonna go into the field. But yeah, there's guys who carry that certain demeanor. That we call it that like upstairs demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
And upstairs just means like either coaches or GM or ownership. Like they just have a certain like, you kind of like one of them, but not in a bad way, but just like you know what I'm saying. That's how you Cap. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never had that. I was the opposite.
I've got a couple names that come to mind right now.
I was just thinking it's interesting that the current ones are very diverse by position.
Yeah.
Like, I guess linebacker makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
But then you would also think quarterback, and there really aren't many quarterbacks that have ever gone
I think that
on to be good coaches.
The great quarterbacks don't necessarily get into coaching. The good ones sometimes do. Like,
yeah, I mean, you don't need money.
Yeah. The first guy that sprang to mind was a linebacker. He is a linebacker. Bobby Wagner on the Commanders. Bobby Wagner is going to be a head coach. He's either going to be a head coach or he might be
like a GM or something.
He might be
like
commissioner of the NFL at some point.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's an impressive dude.
Impressive dude. He knows a lot about the game. Physically, he's not anything like what he used to be, but he's still able to play. He's able to start in the NFL just because he's so smart and he understands everything. I think Bobby Wagner is definitely going to be somewhere in that line. Besides him, I feel like, I don't know, Cooper Kupp gives me that vibe too. There's probably some offensive linemen that I'm not thinking about right now.
Yeah, I don't know enough about like outside personalities. That's hard to judge.
Might be some like interior guys that we don't really talk or hear about that much.
Has a receiver ever been a great head coach?
Dabo?
NFL?
Shit.
Like a
Has
good...
a receiver been a head coach?
McVay, right?
Well, a guy who played receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, although Sean McVay did, do you know who he beat out for 2003 Georgia High School Player of the Year?
Calvin Johnson.
That's correct.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yep.
Was he a receiver in high school, or was he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Has there been an NFL receiver that has been a head coach?
I can't really think of one.
This is going
to chat.
Yeah. See what they say.
There's been O-linemen, linebackers, DB. Has there been a running back?
Yeah, there's got to have been some running backs.
There's I think OC, right? Eric Bieniemy is the closest, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think. I don't think.
Oh, by the way, Kellen Moore's a head coach.
Oh, that's right.
We're
Yeah,
talking about quarterbacks.
Yeah, he is. I could see like Chase Daniel.
Yeah, he does a lot of like film stuff on YouTube, right?
Yeah, like a guy that's breaking stuff down.
I think backup quarterback is a good spot for a coach to come from.
I would agree. You kind of have to have that mentality.
Yeah.
You have to like over prepare for everything. If you're a backup quarterback, you usually don't have like the top of the lines physical tools, so you have to make up for that with the mental side.
Who's that one who Arian played with? Who's the quarterback coach now?
TJ Yates
Yates.
from
Yeah, he's a
Marietta,
quarterback
Georgia.
coach. There's a guy named Ray Perkins. He's old school. He coached. He was a receiver for who did he play for? Baltimore in the 60s and early 70s, and he went on to be a head coach.
Yeah, that doesn't count. What's your year where sports?
Ed McCaffrey, but he coached in the college level.
What's your year for NFL where it starts counting? 70s?
Yeah, 70s.
I think I agree.
But even then, I have an exception to that. Jim Brown.
That's fair.
He could play any era.
Yeah.
NBA, I think it's later.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, no, I could.
And
I could
baseball,
see
I think it's
70s.
earlier.
I think it's 70s because there's a lot of guys I think. So I don't judge necessarily like like talent for talent 1-to-1. I do it relatively because you can't that would just be pointless. But like when you look at guys who like transcended the game and changed the game, that's what I look for when you talk about like 70s and stuff like that. So like Pete Maravich, shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, he had some of the I'll put him in the category as having some of the best handles of all time, but it's relative to what the handles were in the world. So like I remember one time Michael Jordan, and it's funny to watch now, but like so he like had the ball, he was going for the ball and he put it around his back.
Yeah.
And kept going. And the announcer was like, "What was that? Did you see that? He put the ball around his back." But it's like at the time, that shit it hasn't happened. And so like nowadays, it's kids are doing that, but that's how you change the game. You change the game. And so you look for cats so like Steph, he changed the game. Like he changed how it's played. So that's how I think that's why I look at 70s a little different in basketball. There were cats who changed the game.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I could see a guy like Calais Campbell being a coach.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
He's been around for forever. He's played on all these different teams. Clearly loves football.
Not to toot my own horn.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the championship. We're in the Super Bowl. My little league team.
Congrats.
Yes.
Congrats.
Yes, we are. I'm hyped. So I was telling you a little bit before, but so the team that we beat, I think, was the better team that we're going to play. So we're playing a team that hasn't lost in 3 years in the Super Bowl, but I think the team we just beat is a better team, right?
You think putting bulletin board material out there is smart?
I don't care. I feel like this is Little League.
That'd be a shame.
That's what I feel. I think they had better talent on the other team. I think their line was a little bit better. I think schematically they're a little better. And we walked away with the victory. Now this team that we're going to play in the Super Bowl, we lost to them in the regular season by 1 point, and I take full responsibility for this loss. Because we had them down 6-0. We were driving, we're on their 4-yard line. And one of the coaches was like, "Hey, let's get a ball to Big Trey." Big Trey's one of our linemen, good lineman. And I was like, "Fuck it, let's do it." And he fumbled. And so I didn't put my kids in the position to win. I should have and we were running the ball down their throat. So we should have just continued to pile on. But I feel like that was my fault. But it's gonna be a great game. I'm excited. I got all the homies coming out. Fam gonna be in the stands. It's gonna be exciting, man. And it's been a fun, like, looking back at the game we played them, and then looking at the last game we played, like the way I coached has entirely changed. Like I'm way more adaptable. A lot of the stuff I've learned from football over the years, you just forget. And so as the season goes on, I start to remember a lot more because it's like, it's like riding a bike. And so it's been fun evolving from that standpoint. So not to make this about me, but it is.
That's very cool.
It's dope. It's been a dope journey, man. It's been a dope journey.
Very cool. Have you thought about the Gatorade shower afterwards? Are they going to dump Gatorade on you?
I don't. They dumped the head coach and then one of the other assistant coaches. While we was I was talking to the refs about something because this bullshit. The ref told me we had a timeout. So I called a timeout. Like I can't keep track of all that shit. I got a million things going on. And I should have probably, right? And so I called a timeout, but we didn't have any timeouts left. And so I'm on the field like arguing with the refs and stuff. And then they decided to hit the coaches with the jump. But nah, we don't have Gatorade. We have water.
I know you are coaching youth football, and I like to think that we're friends, and I like you, so I'm not gonna get mad at you for saying this. However, if a coach of a team that I was a fan of ever said, I didn't know if we had a timeout, I don't have time to keep track of all that shit, the things I would say would burn cities.
Yep.
Hey, those are facts though.
You got to be aware.
But
though.
you're not the head coach, so it doesn't.
I'm not the head
really
coach.
matter,
I am the
but-
offensive coordinator, and so like I don't like when they're out on defense. I'm watching for the most part. But I'm involved in other stuff. I'm trying to get things organized, whatever the case may be. I don't know if we took timeouts and stuff like that, and they're not on the scoreboard. We don't keep it on the scoreboard, so you would have to keep an individual tally.
That's a fair point. Also,
and not only that, the refs are supposed to. Now, when the ref tells me, because a lot of time I'll just check with them. I'll say, hey, how many timeouts do we have? Because there's nowhere to check, right? And so they keep it. And so he told me I had one. And so I took one and they called delay the game. And I'm like, but you told me I had. He's like, I know that's my fault. I'm like, that can't.
Okay, well then, yeah, that's different.
Yeah, so I'm not aloof. I know the game. It's just I think it was a mistake on his part. But they should have redacted the penalty then. But it is what it is. By that time we was up 11. So they wasn't gonna come back, but it was just like that was silly.
Do you guys have any disgruntled wide receivers?
Oh man, it's literally everybody's disgruntled. Everybody's just gonna parents and disgruntled.
Yeah.
I had got into it with a parent because he was like, yo, you don't ever give my son a chance. I'm like, yo, we had the evaluation process. Like your son, like I don't think he's a non-talented kid. I just think we have more talented kids at running. And so I try to get them the ball. And he was upset. He's like, well, you just don't give him a shot. I'm like, it's the play. It was the first week of the playoffs when it happened. I was like, it's the playoffs. I was like, why would I give my 415 running back reps when my first offense can't go on 2 right now?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. I was like, I have to coach these kids to win, right? But I'm here to coach everybody. But like, I want to win. And so it's like tell me how that makes sense, giving my 415 running back reps when I got to get my other guys ready who are going to play that position.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he didn't have a real answer, but it's like everybody's disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? Like kids come to me, hey, coach, can I get in? I'm like, you haven't been in this position all year. Why would I put you in right now, son? Like, no.
What's your philosophy on going for it on 4th down?
Depends on where we are in the field. More often than not, I will. We do the tush push. I implemented that. And that's been highly successful. It's really hard to stop because what we'll do is if we're short, either on 3rd or 4th down, if we're short by a yard or 2, maybe even 3, wherever we're at. So like we'll run a play. And if we're short, I'll just call eagle and they already know, just get up on the line. And so they'll if the whoever gets the ball, they'll be down and they'll spot the ball fast. And we don't huddle. We just call eagle and they go for it. And that's been, I think we have 100% success rate on it this year. And I'm sure they're going to coach us up for it, but I got something for them in the Super Bowl if they try to stop that one. So I'm excited about that.
I like it. I hope they're not listening.
I hope they are. I don't care. The last drive of the season, I told them what we were doing. I said we're gonna line up and run the same play until they stop it. I don't give a shit. And y'all should, and it worked. It absolutely worked. That's the kind of coach I am. So I don't care if we do what we supposed to do. They can't stop us. That's how I feel.
How would you describe your offense? Your philosophy?
My offensive philosophy is versatile. So like the plays that we ran at the beginning of the year, we don't really run anymore. So I look at the defense, I see where they're vulnerable, and I implement 2 to 3 new plays a game, and I adjust our formation, I adjust our offensive sets, I adjust players, I adjust according to what the defense does, because usually little league coaches have a philosophy, they have a mindset, and they don't change.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like my play. I got athletes, so I can adapt, and they're smart. And so my philosophy is we have like our bread and butter, but I like to throw wrinkles in there because because people watch film in Little League. And so if you practice, you spending time practicing, covering this play all week, and then we don't run it, that was a waste of time. And you didn't get all you could out of practice. I like to do that. I like to keep them guessing. And so when they come up to play us, there's a whole new formation. They're looking around confused because they've never seen it before.
Yeah.
I like that. That's what I like to do. I like to keep them guessing, but also I like to have an identity as well.
Do you have a kicker?
We do. We've been. I'm proud of him because we've been working with him all year. At the beginning of the year, it was shaky, and then just practice. And last game, he hit 3 field goals.
Love
after
that.
the kick. So yeah, it was, and they were booted. And so it's a process, and that's what's the funnest part about coaching is seeing kids grow and seeing kids' confidence grow after they failed. So they failed, and you believe in them, and you coach them right, you coach them technique, and you see them succeed in practice, succeed. Boom, they do it in the game. Their confidence grows. That's been one of the most rewarding parts of this entire thing.
It's very cool. Let me ask you a question. Game situation.
Let's do it.
Fourth quarter. You're down 14-28, 5 minutes
Okay.
left. You've got the
Okay.
ball.
Mm-hmm.
You score.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 6 points now. Do you go for 2?
In our little league or regular football.
Your little league.
In our little league, if you kick a field goal after a touchdown for whatever reason, it's 3 points.
Oh,
That's how the rules are set up. So we have been successful kicking, so I would kick the field goal.
That
Okay.
That
seems
would
like
be
kind of
3
an
points.
insane rule change.
yeah, that's nuts. So a
but
touchdown's worth
the-
9?
Yeah. If you score and you kick a field goal, the touchdown's worth 9. They reward like solid football, I guess, is the reasoning. The first 3 games, I didn't really pay attention to the score like that because we was running it up. And so one time we scored twice, and I'm like, how the fuck do we have 18 points? We've only had. I was like, what is going on? And they explained to me. I was like, what? I had no idea. Yeah, I don't know. But if we're talking regular football,
Yeah.
that's all contingent on. It's all contingent on how my defense is playing. But more often than not, if there's how much time left,
5 minutes.
kick a field goal.
No.
Gotta go.
Got to go for it.
I disagree.
Because you're probably going to get it 1 or 2 times, right? 50%?
Yeah, but you increase the probability of you tying the game. Because if you miss, now you
But
down.
you decrease the probability of you winning the game.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's not a 1-to-1. Your likelihood of losing is higher if
Not necessarily.
if you go for it. Yeah, because if you go for it and miss it, now it's a 2-score game.
No,
if you go
you're
for it
down
and miss
8.
it, you're down 8, so you just go for it after the next touchdown.
You have to score twice anyway.
That is true.
So if you
What am I thinking?
score once,
That's still that's still
no, because if you score once and you get the 2-point conversion, then all you have to do is score another touchdown, the extra point, and you win. If you don't get the 2-point, then you still have to score a touchdown anyways.
It increases the probability of you winning the game.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, the math disagrees with you.
This is why.
You can disagree
I think-
philosophically.
I think, yeah, it's philosophical. I think what is the percentage of 2-point conversions made? And it also depends on what league we're in.
Most teams are about 50%,
50%.
Yeah.
which is the entire thinking behind the thing is you have to score twice. You go for it. If you get it, great. Now a touchdown wins. If you don't, you still have to do it again, and you, hypothetically speaking, should get it.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to look at the numbers. If the numbers bear out statistically,
Now, if you're at 32%
Again-
on 2-point conversions, then you shouldn't do it.
Right.
this is what I'm saying. It depends on where. So if the league averages, look what the league averages on 2-point conversion, and it depends on where I fall on that spectrum as well. It depends on everything is contingent. There's a multiplicity of variables. Like, so what kind of defense am I facing? How have I been successful on 3rd down, 2-point conversions, short yardage? All that shit matters. What is the average?
This isn't giving me number of attempts, but there are 16 NFL teams currently at 50% or above. And then there are several that are at, so Seattle and Tennessee, it doesn't even give me 0. So I'm assuming they haven't attempted one. And then there are several that are at 0, but they may only have like one attempt or so. But 16 teams are at 50% or higher. So the average is probably right at 50.
Yeah, I think it just depends, though. It depends on how my defense is playing. It depends on how I've been over the course of the season. All that shit matters. Like it also depends what game it is. If it's a regular season game, probably probably more than I would consider it for a playoff game. Nah, there's no point.
I disagree strongly.
I think, yeah, I would go for 2. I would do it every time. Actually, I don't know why Ron Rivera didn't go for 2 every time when he was the coach of the Panthers.
It depends on what kind of offense you have. So you say, yeah, I would go for 2 every time, but like
Cam Newton.
That changes your changes your percentages. That changes a lot of things. Because it's not just about him being able to run it. It's about him being a decoy to run it.
Yeah.
Right? So now the defense has to account for him in a different way. This is why the variable of what kind of offense do I have? What kind of defense do they have? How good is that defense at stopping 2-point conversions? All that shit matters. So just to blanketly say, yeah, you go for it every time, no, that's silly.
I would go for it if I was down 14 with 5 minutes left. I think I would go for it every time when you score that first touchdown. Because let's just say hypothetically you kick 2 extra points, and then you still have to go out in overtime, get a stop, get the ball, and win the game.
That's why I'm saying it depends on how my defense is playing. 1, 2. To go back to your math, even if you're at 50%, right, your percentage has to lower if you have to do it twice. And if you have to do it twice in a row, your percentage has to be even lower than that.
But you might not have to.
Yeah, you might not have to do it twice, because if you do it the first time, you can just kick.
But this is what I'm saying. If you miss it the first time, you would have to do it twice.
Correct.
And so I think you're probabilistically your odds lower if you have to do it 2 times in a row, because for various different reasons. But like if I'm in the NFL, I probably have, I don't know, say 4 to 5 plays.
Right.
For that situation.
Yeah, if you only have one good 2-point play.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. All of this just depends. But usually, if the NFL, I would be confident in saying that an offensive coordinator probably has like 4 to 5, maybe even more plays for that situation. But again, personnel, all of this shit matters, though. But off top, I wouldn't.
Well, I hope your players' parents are listening to this.
These guys aren't analytically inclined.
Doesn't know how many timeouts are left. Won't go for 2.
My little league team is in championship. Okay,
have somebody
2 armchair quarterbacks.
What time? You said it's on Sunday.
It's on Sunday at 7 p.m.
Oh wow, Sunday Night Football,
prime time.
Have somebody set up a tripod, put a phone on it, and just record it live stream it.
I don't even know how you do that.
Just go live on Instagram.
IG.
Yeah.
IG. All right, we'll look into that. Yeah, we'll look into that.
I'd like to watch.
I'd like to watch too. I'll be judging your offense.
I judge away. We nice with it. Although our defense is the best in the league.
Really?
Yeah, our defense is nice.
Do they carry your offense?
Carry would be a strong word, but what I would say is when other teams play each other, they just score. It's 35 to 40 something. When they play us, the score is 28 to 6, 30 to 12. You know what I'm saying? They just don't score as much. We've had some shutouts. They just don't score. Our defense is stout. I think we're a well-balanced team.
Today's episode was brought to you by our great friends at Part of My Cheesesteak. Part of My Cheesesteak is delicious, and it is back. It's so good. They've got a brand new cheesesteak available only at Penn Station East Coast Subs. It's called the Mega Cheesesteak. It's a limited time offer just for this football season. This sub is so good. It's got a mega portion of steak, pepperoni, provolone, and American cheeses, sauteed onions, mushrooms, banana peppers, and mayo. I'm telling you, the addition of pepperoni to a cheesesteak, it works so well. It's delicious. I love it. Penn Station has been around for 40 years. It's huge in the Midwest. It is the OG in craveable grilled subs. Available exclusively at all 320 Penn Station locations. You can literally watch your Mega Cheesesteak sizzle and melt on the grill. It's so good. They came to the office. They made us the Mega Cheesesteaks along with the fresh cut fries, the fresh squeezed lemonade, and the fresh baked cookie. It's an undefeated combo, and you will love it. I love it. I kind of want one right now. Penn Station Subs is the only place where fans can get the Mega Cheesesteak. Order it in-store, online, or through the Penn Station app for delivery. This cheesesteak is perfect. You're not going to regret it. It's going to be delicious. It'll become part of your everyday rotation. Great sub for a Saturday, for a long Sunday. Enjoy it. Shout out Penn Station East Coast Subs. They do it right. And get the Mega Cheesesteak while you're there. You can order it in-store, online, or through the Penn Station app for delivery. All right, we will see you guys on Thursday. Love you guys.